Hello, my name is Dswank and I am in Space Engineers, and this is another one of my Fleet Yard videos. Now, this ship that you see many iterations of is one that I called the Worker. Now, this is the first iteration of the Worker, right here. 6 Gatling guns, 3 rocket launchers in the nose, all light armor. And originally it had storage space and these grinders sticking out. That's why it was called the Worker. And I retrofitted it because I was starting to go raiding NPC ships. And all the ships in this video are going to be things I built in my survival game that I was playing by myself. Okay, there is worker number 1, iteration 1, and you can see there's smoke because there was a loose gyroscope in there. Now worker number 2, let's see, I'm trying to reorient myself. Alright, 1, 2, where am I? They started drifting and I've lost the order. Oh, whatever. Alright. That. No. Worker number 2. I started to modify. I put heavy armor on it, but left the rocket launchers in the nose. And I put armor on everywhere that tended to get damaged a lot. But that just meant that the nose stayed alive, but everything inside this little area died very quickly. So, that's kind of the only real modifications I did that time. I reworked some of the bottom, but it's mostly the same. And there was this hole that I forgot about when I was building it. Alright. That would mean that this would be worker number 3. Yes. That should be worker number 3. Right there. I moved the rocket launchers to the side, shifted a little more heavy armor, and that's pretty much it. Still have that gap on the bottom. Reworked the belly armor, changed the shape a little bit. That's really all. There's not much. Yeah. 3 and 4 aren't that different. Well, that was 2 and 2.5. This one has more armor on it, as you can see, a lot less of the light armor. It's almost completely, the front end is almost completely replaced by heavy armor. Didn't help me that much. So I kind of went 50-50 on armor from then on out. This should be 4. I'm trying to remember all. Yeah. This is the one that, yeah, I added the Uber thrusters on the back of. And that was the big change for that one, or the booster thrusters. And I will, what did I change on this one? I think I added the center line thrusters. Oh, yeah. I just replaced the booster thrusters with more regular thrusters. That was it. It's a fun little fighter. I liked it. Pretty quick, very maneuverable. not excessive resource hog, and has some good machine guns. Simplistic. Very simplistic. But I managed to catch a whole lot of stuff with it. So, and it never was fully destroyed. Now, as time went on, I attempted different things. One was setting up a beacon network via drone, and I couldn't do it with a regular drone beacon. So I built this as sort of a truck to pull drones with, and it didn't work out well. But I held on to it because I don't like deleting anything that I make. I can always look at it and go, I learned something from that. So, didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Now this, I love this little ship. I mean, for what it is. It's basically a shuttle bus. It's pretty quick. I'm also probably having lag from gravity fields interacting with each other. Got some ride-alongs over here. You can dock onto stuff with that and move it. It's kind of just a general purpose utility ship that can also transport people. It's kind of all it really was. And yeah, I liked it. I liked the look of it. It was fun. Let's see. Now, let's look. Okay. Now, since it was survival, of course I had to develop a miner ship. And when I saved the blueprint for this, the drill wasn't finished, but yeah. And I also hadn't placed the ore detector, which ends up back there, along with a light. Very simple. It's jump in, drive through an asteroid with the drills going. Basic hole punch mining. And I built a bigger version of that went with that ship down there. Let's see. The grinder. This is almost an exact duplicate. An exact duplicate of this I made, except instead of grinding, it had welders on it. Because I built this shortly after I caught that, and I needed this to get rid of that and keep the resources. So, I mean, it's very simple, nothing fancy. Alright. And my little scout drone that I built that was worthless. I don't know why I put guns on it. I didn't need guns, but I was thinking, oh, this could be fun. Shoot other people if I could come across them, blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen. It was a bunch of wasted stuff. Now, this ship that I start out up here, originally, the end of it was right here, this line. And I was like, I want to do more. So I extended it out to the end of the dock over here. And then I got more resources, and I extended it out even more. Then I caught that, and I did more. Let's see. Thrusters, those actually all become sage thrusters if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I got bored of the asteroid I was at, so I docked them all together and headed out. But yeah, this one was tough to take with the worker. I ended up blasting just the turrets off the top, and then landing the worker on top and using its pad and thrusters to pull the ship to a stop. I cut my way down in here and cut my way down in here and fell down here and somehow didn't die, and then ran in one of these, and I think it was over here, and then proceeded to cut my way through everything with the grinder. So yeah, that was kind of the me catching that ship. Now I'm gonna do the full tour of the ship and the Hatari at the one below, but I wanted to sort of show you kind of the forge, as I call her, and at an earlier point. The ship was kind of based on, had a lot of influence from Sage's Hephaestus. That was about the time he wrecked. That was about the time that I started building this. So, I did not like that mod piece. It didn't fit thematically the way I'd hoped. So, yeah. In that. And then we'll go down and look at the completed one and that ship. And I'll talk about them both. Alright. Start with Forge. Alright. The lag should be down, but the ship was built prior to the air inside ships. I had security turrets put in, but they weren't. It was just, I was goofing around by the point I got to this area. I do like the bridge. Sitting up here, getting a nice look around. Okay. This area, I put a small reactor and projector block, and will project small ships kind of rotating right there because I thought it was cool. Like I said, originally this back wall was the end of the ship, so this was the original engine room. Originally, I only had two refineries, and I extended out. I have some other stuff under the floor in here. I have this, that, blah, blah, blah. This is my office with a locked and off-the-grid cargo container. These, one of them sorts out stone, another one helps me sort everything else. Medical. Oh, they've changed the texture. Is that a mod pack that changed the textures, or did they actually change the textures on the batteries? I think they may have. That looks just higher quality, so they may have upgraded the batteries recently. But yeah, all those batteries were stolen off of NPC ships. I had a lot of fun doing that. Okay. Gyros, gravity, original gyro room and gravity room. There's a door on the other end of these that lets me out onto the construction dock. Yay. What is that? Oh, that's weird light effects. Okay. Antenna. Run. Alright. And this was an extension. Now, back out. onto the construction pad where ships would live, things like that. Yay. Tubed up construction container so you could build, or cargo container so you could build stuff. These are all tied, excuse me. These are all tied into the sorter that's up there. We go down here. The main gyro room. Gyros. And gyros. Let's see. This area is area that kind of an airlockishness, and you've got those. Okay, those will dock on top of this. Now I'll run over here, talk about this real quick, and then go back. Okay, this is the mobile anchorage, and the idea was that a company would build this ship, and or that this whole assembly, this would go with it. Maybe not the turret. Turret's a little excessive, but yeah, build this whole assembly. That would be the primary ship that go out, explore, search for stuff. The Hatari would be the escort, and this, the ship would find a asteroid, and this would use the big driller that I had attached, and don't know where it's gone to. Would drill a big square into the asteroid along the grid square, and then you'd build a thing out of that station, out of the asteroid, along that tunnel that this would back into and dock into, and you'd be able to transfer resources, things like that, and it'd function kind of like the front part of a base. It had defensive network, it had refineries and storage capacity and assemblers on board, docking points, all that fun stuff. And this was built before the long angle mod blocks. There's a lot of stuff that, not mod blocks, but blocks in game, non-modded. And there's a lot of bits in game that I would change on this now, but I've built it. Okay, this is kind of where the crew would be stored for long term for the actual constructing a base. This is kind of the observation deck. Pilot's chair for when the mobile anchorage moves. It can undock and actually move on its own very easily. Let's see, let's go in here. This is where the docking points would come down into. And let me show you the back of it. Alright. Open. Okay. This is the cargo area, reactor room, stuff like that. Hope if I hit the right key. And it opens up into this. Very simple. Yay. Nice and easy. Let's see. I'm going to actually go into the front of this and fly it. See how well it flies. But it's pretty good on its own. But when it works in conjunction with the forge, it's really good. So, yeah, like I said, it's a very simple ship. Alright. Stops very good. Okay. I'm not going up through that. Alright, now on to the rest of Forge. Okay, let's talk about the turret. Turret is actually a remote controlled turret. My first attempt at building a turret, I think it turned out pretty well. And am I drifting? No, it's just because I'm blah. Okay, over here, all these docking ports are actually things that's more connectors. This is where stone is spat out. So actually, if I turn the ship and point those at bad guys, it does a pretty good job wrecking house. Turrets, just because I wanted one there and no real reason. Side thruster bay. I really do like Forge. It kind of feels interesting to me. Okay. We went down that area. This is the main cargo hold. Go back here, window, you can look at the Hatari through. And I'll fly that this time as well. Engine room. Small reactor so you can get the fuel transfer system up and running if need be. Crew compartment. Now this, I was trying to make it look like Aliens, the Nostromo from Aliens, and this, like a table or desk, didn't really work right. Down here, kind of storage area. In here, bunk, and 3 bunks over here. Very simplistic. And when I first built it, I was trying to figure out a way to make it look like there was an alien right here, like slobber dripping down or something like that, and then try and submit this to the Sage and Last Stand Gamer did a thing where they look at ships. That danger sign keeps catching me off guard. I'm not used to it being there. Alright. This is the fully modified Hatari. I've got multiple gun emplacements of different types in the front. This I like because, let's see, no gravity. Gravity, where's it pointing? Right there. And if I go down, nope. And this is how the ship refuels, is through that. I really like that. That's fun. But it only works if the ship's not moving. And docking port. Yay. Okay, now let me fly up and get on the command center. And I'll fly this. Oh. Yeah. Overview, overlook kind of area. Thought it was kind of cool. A lot of this was just, I thought it was cool. So, I mean, it doesn't move very fast. But the Hatari weighs about half as much as the Forge. It's kind of a 50-50 split. And the thrusters on the Hatari don't hurt the Forge. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to go jump in the Hatari, fly it around, show that off, and that'll be all for this. Hatari, I love her. the Hatari is my second favorite ship I've built. Large ship. I love the Worker. I love the Relic Fighter. But the Hatari is just awesome. And there we go. She's undocked. Pulling away. I don't have a lot of fuel on her, but and it takes a little bit for it to get going, and it doesn't help the lag with the amount of lag we have, but I love the sound of that gun too. So, and we got those and those. Very simplistic. And then the last button turns on and off the turrets. So, I'm Dswank, and this has been Space Engineers and the ships that I have built during survival. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.